everyone, I'm Jessica with that hashtag show, and I'm here today with Sung Kang, who's making his feature directorial debut with the horror comedy Shaky Shivers. Now, I hear you wanted to direct a feature for a while, so I'm wondering, with a completed film now under your belt, what's a scene from Shaky Shivers that you're the most proud of?
Jessica, great question. I would say that it is the transformation scene with Lucy when she turns into, to give a spoiler, but when she turns into a werewolf. That was a direct homage to Rick Baker's work in American Werewolf in London. And, that is definitely one of the inspirations in terms of like, what Shaky Shivers needed to feel like in that scene. So I'm very proud that we were able to execute it with our limited resources and time. If I watched the behind the scenes for American Werewolf in London, and they had several days to shoot that sequence, and we had several hours. So the fact that we were able to pull it off, and also Brooke Markham, she sold that scene. Without her and her performance and her talent, that scene would have never worked. And I think people would have just seen, they would just see all the flaws and the lack of, but she sold it through performance. And that's a testament that it's like your casting is so important. It's the actors that bring those words to life. So very proud of that scene.
I love the cast dynamic. I think they have a great back and forth and banter. I love that you mentioned American Werewolf in London. What are some of your other horror favorites or touchstones that you sort of reference throughout the film?
Definitely Evil Dead. I love the spirit of Sam Raimi's first Evil Dead because, reading and looking at, behind the scenes footage, they had such limited resources. And, what I took away from Evil Dead is like, just have a can do attitude, and just do it, right? Just figure it out. And it's like, yeah, that's how Evil Dead's inspired. And also it's funny, Evil Dead is actually pretty hilarious, right? And movies like practical effects from like Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, and even I don't know, there was this this, I guess, innocence and sincerity and cuteness that came from like Gremlins one, right? I don't know, I don't know if Gremlins is a horror movie, but to me, it was part of my childhood, and it made monsters cute, right? And that's something that we wanted to make sure we had in Shaky Shivers because the whole ethos of the script from the beginning when Andy McAllister and Aaron Strummer wrote it was to share the love affair of 80s and 70s and early 90s practical effects with their daughter. Andy had a 8 or 9 year old daughter at the time, and he wanted to share this love affair that he had with the practical effects from our childhood, but didn't want to scare the bejesus out of her, right? So we definitely drew from those films, and again, it was like a homage. That werewolf scene is definitely a homage to American Werewolf in London.
Absolutely. Now, Shaky Shivers is getting a one night only theatrical release. Why should everybody head out to theaters and see it?
Well, first, it's if you want some giggles and you just want to have a good time and watch some great performances, go out and watch this, and then also because of the strike, there are no movies out anyway. So like you don't have much option. So go and watch this.
Sure, fair enough. And
Yeah.
I will say I loved it. I had a great time. I'm going to be recommending it. I'm going to be sending people out to the theater for you.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that.
All right, that's all for me today. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Pleasure to meet you.
You too.